G'day tubes, Bruce here. Well, today we're working on a 3.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton, made in 1996. I'll try and move slow. Okay, and it just won't start. The owner, you can see, put a brand new spark plug in it. He tried, but spark plugs are usually not an issue. And they can be cleaned too. I've got a video that you can measure the resistance on a spark plug and tell what's wrong with it. So anyway, we'll continue on with this. This is a Pulsa Prime Briggs & Stratton with the tank below the carburetor. It doesn't use gravity feed, it uses suction, which I feel is like the very first of the fuel injection because it uses atmospheric pressure to inject fuel. So this lawnmower won't start at all. I think it's clogged off. It's been sitting for a bit. It's probably clogged off in the carburetor tube that sucks the gas up or something like that. So we're going to take the carburetor off, and that will be the start. So just about all of the small engine repair guys have done this, have worked on this type of a lawnmower. And I've done many of these, but I've never actually done a video on one. So this is my shot at the Pulsa Prime carburetor. I've had some complaints about how I do my videos, but I check their channels and the people who complain, and most of them have never made a video. So that's number one. And number two, I will try to be more conscious of the fact that sometimes you guys can't see. I don't have an assistant, I work alone. Okay, let's see, there we go. So now I'm taking apart, we're right on the tank here, tank, carburetor, primer button, and I'm just taking that 3/8 bolt off right there, and that one on the end right there, and you'll be able to see that. I hope you can see, the sun is a real issue for me. There we go. Now that front bolt. So this lawnmower is 20 years old, but in my heart, I don't consider that old. Because I'm a lot older than that. So this just pulls away from the body now. You just pull it away. So now we have the gas tank and the carburetor off in one piece. And that's what you've got left. We'll clean that up. Now be careful, that rubber ring sometimes comes off inside here, and sometimes it comes and stays. But this time it stayed on. And we'll blow that over there. We'll plug the holes and blow that over there before we reassemble this. So let's get to step 2 and tear this apart. Okay, Phillips screwdriver. And I think there's 5 of these on top of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this just pulls off. You see that? This just pulls off right like that. And I'm suspecting, oh yeah, right now there's a hair in there right now off the bat. And look at the crud going into the carburetor on this screen. We'll go through this. And then there's the gas tank. And then we'll just drain this off and Alright, so now we're back. On the bottom of this carburetor there's a couple of things. There's a diaphragm, and you can see right here that this diaphragm is all shrunk up and gone bad, right? So we'll take that off. screws are falling out, that's no problem. So we know it's toast. And I have one of those. So now on the bottom, we got the 5 screws. 5. And then this screen, if you have a nice good pair of pliers with a round grip like that, usually just comes away. So we'll just, oh, this is a stubborn one. There we go. Here we go. That comes off, clean that. And this spring we'll put, oh, we might even leave it on. It's not that big an issue. So let's just get this cleaned up with some carburetor cleaner right now, and then we'll get it drying. So I am pretty sure that this is our issue. So on this screen, you just have to make sure that the carburetor cleaner goes through it, and it does. Now, outside first. Normally I don't use up my carburetor cleaner this generously, but we're filming a video today, so. And really it's $6.99 a can, right? It is hard on your hands and it's hard on rubber stuff. So this tube here is connected to that screen. You can see that. So that tube right there. So it sucks it up and comes through into the diaphragm and through the carburetor. So it's not that bad. And that's about it. That's pretty simple. That's why I like these, is because they're simple. I'm going to just set this out in the sun. So there's no saving this. I'll get the part number for that in a minute. Now we'll just clean up the tank. Whoop. So one thing you have to watch for is right down in there. Can you see down in there? That little cross, that should be cleaned out. And then there's just a couple of big, what I call big orifices, should be squirted out here and here. And swish that out. Out in the sun to dry. And that's pretty well it, guys. I am going to clean this mess up and we'll come back in a bit and reassemble this. Thanks a lot. Okay, welcome back. So this is the old one, and if you'll really look at this carefully, the diaphragm, which seals the little holes when the fuel comes through, flap, flap, flap. Okay, the diaphragm goes on the bottom, and then this goes on the top. And sometimes it's a space relation thing. Sometimes you have to muck around with it a little bit. So we'll take this one, and we'll just put it down like that. And we'll get the new one. We'll lay it on top. Remembering there's only one way for it to go. Like that. Don't worry, the screws do a great job of lining it up. Now we've got the carburetor, we'll put the screen back on the bottom. That's all there is to that. That's too simple, hey? That was already attached, and we can lower this down. Just like that. Now the 5 screws. And it's always good mechanical practice to do everything in a crisscross pattern. Good. So now the part is Briggs & Stratton 795083. So now that is garbage, right? And let's get this back on. We'll put the lid on so we don't spill stuff into the tank. So we're going to reconnect the governor spring, so I'm going to see if I can do that. I'll start and then I'll bring you over. Now this stayed on here. I'm not thrilled about that, but we'll see if it goes back on okay. Alright guys, I was right. So I installed the Bakelite washer into the carburetor before I put it into the motor. It was floating on the shaft here, and that's not right. The key is to get the throttle governor spring onto the hole. There we go. You see that? That goes in there like that. Ooh, that's a zero-handed operation there. And then this fits onto that right there. That fits on. And then this, of course, hard to do when you're holding a camera. Easy to do when you're not. So that's pretty close, guys. If I can get one thread on that, we'll back you up. Good. Okay. You know, when you have a camera on, it's like having someone watching you. There. Okay, we're back. We're going to put a half a tank of fuel in this guy. That's about right. Always use premium fuel. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Good. So this lawnmower has a broken throttle cable, so when I'm all done, I'm going to set this lawnmower on maximum throttle and just bend these tabs down and leave it there because the cables are worth more than the machine. I know it would be nice to restore every one to its original condition. Okay, you ready for the small engine demo? Spark plugs in, we've got oil, half a tank of fuel, new diaphragm, the primer button still works, and we'll do it. I'll just give it 5 pumps because it's been sitting and there's no fuel in the system at all, and I bet you this old lawnmower starts with 1 pull. Remember, it has not run since we did the diaphragm. Well, that's a beautiful thing. So now I have washed the air filter and I let it dry in the sun. There it is. I've got the rest of the parts for that air filter right here, and we'll put that back on. Alright guys, I just bent this tab over. It doesn't move now, and that'll keep it at about 90% throttle. You can still adjust the governor by bending that tab, but don't do it too much because it can break off. And then I took the throttle cable off because these are notorious for breaking. And now we just have a constant throttle, and all of the people I know who use these run them on full throttle anyway. So that's it. Thanks for watching.